Hi, guys, and welcome to the Small Business Big Voice blog. My name is Tiffany Britt, and I am the Chief Marketing Scientist at Editability. Today, I want to do two different things in this video. First of all, I want to give you some super quick, super awesome tips for the top 10 mistakes that marketers make online. I've done a research study, and I found some of the mistakes that you guys are making that are costing you big bucks. So I want to give you some quick tips to help you sort of, not make those mistakes, avoid them, correct them. Really, my goal behind doing these videos is to help you gain clarity about what the heck it is that you're doing with your online marketing strategy, and also show you how to take your website presence and turn your website traffic into profits and put cash in your pockets. Okay, so that's my purpose behind the quick and dirty tips. And the second thing that I want to do to you and with you today is to share with you one thing that I have learned over the years about marketing that's going to hopefully help you become a better marketer and help you as a result become a better business person and a better person overall. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Let's talk about those 9 different tips that I have. For those of you who know me, I've been talking a lot about this survey that I've completed. I was actually really excited to complete the survey. 100 businesses in the central Illinois area, local businesses, and they were making a lot of mistakes with their online marketing presence. And what I did was I went through and I figured out what the mistakes were and figured out which ones were, which mistakes were the biggest. I've created a course around those mistakes. There were 9 of them that were really, really big that I think that most small business owners, even with just a little bit of time and a little bit of knowledge, they're more than capable of overcoming. So I created that course, and then what I'm going to do in these videos is I'm going to talk about one tip for each one of those different mistakes every single video, and hopefully over time, if you continue to watch the videos, you'll be able to grow in each one of those different areas. At least that's my thought process. If that sounds like a good idea, then listen up. Here are these tips. So the first mistake that small business owners made was that they did not have a cohesive marketing strategy. They were out there doing all sorts of things online, but they did not have a strategy really to kind of pull things together. My tip for you today in the strategic planning piece is to get goal alignment. Now, this is something that many people think about when it comes to personal goals. You're told as you get your personal goals together that you want to make sure that your goal in life is aligned with your belief system and your values. But when it comes to business, we kind of stray away from this, partly because everybody has different goals. But the reality is if you're doing something with your marketing strategy online that's not consistent with and aligned with your overall marketing program, which then isn't tied into your overall business program or business goals, and then is not tied into what you want for the organization as a whole, and what the deeper purpose of your organization is, then you're going to experience resistance at every step along the way. So my tip for you today is to just take 10 minutes and really think about what your goals are in each one of those areas and figure out whether they're not aligned. If they are not aligned and there is no continuity, then you might need to be doing some readjusting. Me as an example, I have a beautiful little girl, and that little girl is my reason for being in business. That's the reason I work so hard. That's the reason that I have my business goals set up. I want to be able to write her a check to Harvard one of these days without her having to worry about her tuition. That is why I work so hard. So the business goals lines up with that deeper purpose, and then my marketing goals line up with the business goals, and then my online marketing goal lines up with my marketing goals. So everything needs to be in alignment. The next tip that I have for you relates to your branding. Some of these small business owners did not have a brand, a core brand, or a core message to go along with their web presence. The message, or the tip that I have for you right now, is to create an asset pack. Create an asset pack. What the heck is an asset pack? Okay, what this is really, it's like control center for your brand. So it's a folder that you keep. If you have more than one person working with your business, you keep it out there publicly, so everybody that's working with your business and that will use your brand in some way has access to it. And what this is going to do, you're going to put in there reusable assets. So that might be your color scheme. It might be Word documents that are customized for your business. It might be your letterhead. Maybe it's your business cards, flyers, brochure brochures, presentation templates. You need to create a central location for this information and then kind of sort of govern how it's being used. The point is that your brand, your visual brand, what you put out there to your customers, that really creates trust or it breaks trust. Okay, when people see a piecemeal strategy put together and they don't know whether the brochure that they get from this company matches the website from this company, there's some inconsistency there, and inconsistency breeds distrust. So creating an asset pack is going to help keep you on the same page and make sure you're using all of your different digital assets in a way that is consistent, and then it also makes sure that everybody else down the line and everyone else that works with your brand does the same thing. And then it's a huge time saver. I cannot tell you how many times that you go to these different social media websites and they're asking you for your picture or a gravatar, or they need your logo for whatever reason. And if you have all of those things located in one place, you save time, right? So big win there. The next tip that I have for you is with your website. One of the problems that small business owners were encountering online was that their website was unprofessional. It was outdated, or it was just not friendly, not easy to navigate. So the tip that I have for you with your website, you can do all of these tips right now today, by the way. You don't have to wait until someday in the future to do them. You can do them right now. You can go to validator.w3c.com or .org, validator.w3c.org. Type your website address in that link and see what comes up. What W3C does is it's kind of like a standards compliance checker. It looks at your website and makes sure that it's standards compliant. This is important because your website, the way that it looks on your computer may not be the way that it looks on your visitor's computer. Everybody has a different browser. Everybody has a different version of the browser. Everyone has different resolutions. They might not even be looking at it on a computer. They might be looking at it on a mobile device, or they might, have some of the things turned off on there. The JavaScript, you have to consider accessibility. So what that W3C checker is going to do is it's going to go through and check for the basics and make sure that the structure of your code is sound. If the structure of your code is not sound, that likely means that your website is not rendering more or less the same for other people. So that's something that needs to be corrected. That's a quick thing you can do right away. Okay, another one of the problems that I found with small businesses and their websites was that they did not connect personally with their websites. This was a huge problem, and I have a huge pet peeve with this. If you are a company, let's just say you sell we'll use business cards. My business card is sitting right here. See, there's my business card, guys. If you sell business cards, you're a printer. Your service is likely very similar to your competition's service. Whether you want to admit it or not, it's likely very, very similar. You probably say that you have the best prices and superior quality and all that good stuff. Here's the thing. Everybody says that. When you're competing, everyone says and talks about how great they are. And when a customer is looking at your website and comparing it to another website, you're all saying basically the same thing. So what really distinguishes you and what sets you apart is your ability to create a personal connection, to really connect personally with that person that's on the other side of the screen. If you're not even making an attempt to do that, then you basically put yourself in the same group as everybody else. You need to stand out. And the tip that I have for you in this area today is to shoot a quick video. It takes no more than 5 minutes to shoot a video. Well, okay, maybe a little bit longer than that because you want to make sure that your hair is good and that you look presentable. So definitely go ahead and do this for your website. Shoot a quick video, upload it to YouTube. The whole process can take less than an hour to do, and embed that code on your website, and that gives them a picture of who you are. People don't buy from companies. People buy from people. If you purchase a website from me today, you're not buying a website from Editability, which is my company. You're buying a website from me because you believe in what I can do for you. People are going to buy from you because they know you, they trust you, and they like you. But if they can't see your face and they don't know who you are behind the pixels of your website, then guess what? They're not going to really be able to make that decision very easily. So shoot a little video today and post it up on your website. Another tip that I have for you deals with SEO. One of the problems with small business websites was that they had little to no SEO on their site. That's a huge deal because, of course, you're invisible basically to search engines. Okay, people are going to find you. The people that you want to find you via a search engine are going to not type in your name. They're going to type in, a keyword. So, what I want to talk about as it relates to search engines today is your keywords. What keyword are you targeting right now with your website? Okay, think about that. If you're not targeting a keyword, that's a whole nother problem that we'll have to touch on in another video. But if you are targeting a specific keywords or key phrase or set of key phrases, then I want you to write those down. Then I want you to go to Wordle.com, Wordle, Wordle.com. On Wordle, go ahead and insert your the URL, your domain for your website, and see what pops up. What Wordle does is it reads through all of the copy on that particular web page or that website, and then it picks out kind of the key phrases, the phrases that are occurring the most often, and then it shows you visually which ones are most active. Now, if the phrases that are most active and used more often on your website are inconsistent with the phrase that you wrote down that you were targeting, then there's a disconnect. And when there's a disconnect, a few different things happen. One, you're not going to capture people that are looking for that key phrase because you're really kind of targeting the other phrase that popped up. Secondly, if you do get people that happen to come across there and they're searching for apples, let's say your key phrase is apples, but your page talks more about oranges than it does apples. What happens when they get there, they search the search engine for apples and they get to your site expecting to see apples, and then you have oranges on there, they're going to just hit the back button. So you have to have some type of consistency with your keywords. If your bounce rates are really high, this is something that might be happening. If you're getting a lot of traffic for a specific keyword, but people are not staying on your site, then that indicates that something on your site is not capturing their attention. That means that you probably don't have what they're looking for on that site. So that's just a quick tip for you, is to use Wordle to try and figure out whether what you're putting out there is really what you're putting out there. The next tip that I have for you deals with social media networking. One of the problems that small businesses had when it came to their social media networks is that they didn't have a web presence, or they had a web presence on just one of the social media networks, or if they did have a web presence, it was really, really weak and it wasn't really inviting and didn't really drive you to figure out who this person was, or they had a web presence that wasn't really findable. Okay, so and wasn't active. So there was a lot of different things I looked at in that area, in the area of social media. But the tip that I have for you today is to implement a social sharing tool on as much of your content as you can. And let me explain to you why it's important, and then explain to you how to do it. So first of all, why is a social sharing tool important? Well, when you look at what's happening online with search engine rankings, social signals are now used to determine where you rank with other content. So if everything else was equal, we know it's not equal, but let's just say that your competition site was just like your site, same keywords, same amount of information, same everything. If everything else was equal in the search engine's eyes, and your visitors, or you have more content, or you have more sharing on your site than the other site does, if you have more traffic to your site, you have more social signals, that is an indicator to the search engine that your site is more popular and it has something that's more relevant than the other site. So social signals are really important because they help determine where to place you. They factor into that search engine algorithm. That's why it's important to put a social sharing tool on your website and in your content. The purpose of it, what a social sharing tool is something that allows people to share with one click. Okay, and the purpose behind that really is to make it create zero friction when it comes to them sharing your information. So if I see something that resonates with me uh, online, I need to be able to share it immediately. If I have to go and take the link and cut and paste it into my email address, email box, and then figure out who I'm going to email it to, and or go and cut and paste it into Twitter. If I have to do all that, by the time I have to do all that, I'm just not going to do it. Okay, so you have to make it very easy for your targets to share your information. So at the point where they feel inspired to share it, you have that button there and they share it. So make it very easy. Add a social sharing tool to do that. There are many of them out there. The one that I personally use and personally integrate for my clients is called Share This. You can go to sharethis.com and get that, or you can just go to Google and search for sharing tools. The benefit of having a sharing tool is that you can also see analytics about it. You can see who shared it, where they, well, you can't see who shared it, but you can see how it was shared. So you can collect some intelligence behind it, which helps you create your content in the future. It helps you determine what type of content is more popular and what type of placement of your sharing tool is more popular. You know, you can optimize even that. So that is my tip there. The next tip that I have for you deals with task at hand content. Many marketers did not have websites that had content that made them the task at hand. And what I mean by task at hand is content that is what they're searching for. Okay, people have a tendency to do only their task at hand, focus only on their task at hand, and they unconsciously filter out everything else. So if my focus right now is to, oh, I have a task at hand right now. I'm creating a video. So it doesn't matter what type of advertisement I receive. As an example, I'll turn my computer around a little bit. You can probably see right there on that screen. There's an advertisement, PC Optimizer. Whatever that is, I don't know what it is. It's a pop-up ad and I have to clean up my system. But it's trying to get my attention. And right now, I am focused on my task at hand. It's never going to get my attention because I'm filtering it out unconsciously. Your marketers or your targets have developed that type of advertising blindness, okay? They don't pay attention to your ads because they're focused on what they're focused on. So the trick is to become their center of attention, become the focus of their attention. When you do this, the fact that they're unconsciously filtering out everything else, that's going to work in your favor, right? Because they're going to filter out everything else that's going on, and they're going to focus on your content and your information. You get their undivided attention. The way that you do this is by developing content that answers their questions. So when people go to Google, when they go to the search engine, they're searching for an answer to their question. And if you have content that answers that question and maybe gives them a little something extra or entertains them or makes them laugh or informs them or is helpful, then you have captured their task, their focus. You have become their task at hand. If your website, right now, if you're looking at your website and you don't have anything on there that really is task at hand content, then shame, shame, shame. Stop it. Go get some, okay? Matter of fact, this is one thing that you can do. Create a reference tool, and that's my tip for you today. Create a reference tool. Think about your targets. Think about what exactly it is that they will do, or what exactly it is that they're going to be searching for when they find you. If you are a seamstress, maybe they're searching for a way to patch their pants. Give them a reference, show them some pictures, show them step by step how to make this happen. You become their task at hand. You want to give them a reference tool. The reason why I say reference tool, it's one of the many things you want to give them. The reason why I say create a reference tool is because people don't delete reference tools. I'm a designer. I have on my desk, I have a reference chart for HTML. I have a reference chart for CSS3. I've got a WordPress reference chart because all of that stuff is stuff that I don't want to keep in my brain. I keep that right there on my desk. And the person that created it, they're right there on my desk too. That reference tool is going to passively mark it for you. I used to have a poster on my wall. It doesn't match my my decor anymore, so I had to take it down. But I had a poster on my wall that was of people on Twitter, things that people said on Twitter about me, to me, or within my network or whatever, that someone collected for me and sent to me. Okay, That's something that didn't take them very long to put together. It was a free tool that they used to put it together, but their information was on that piece of paper, that poster, and it was sitting right there. It was a kind of a reference to me that made me feel happy every time I looked at it. So really get creative with that. Think about what it is that your targets are going to use and create a reference tool. Conversion, that's the next tip. This is the ninth tip. The conversion piece of it is many marketers did not have anything on their website that helped them turn their visitors into customers. You know, they didn't have content that was sticky. They didn't have content that really resonated with the targets and that made the targets stay. And even if they did have content that did make them stay, they didn't have a tool in place or a system in place to capture the visitor's email address and continually market to them. You got to have this in place. You have to have that in place. So my tip for you today is to go and get a lead capture form. Okay, use a tool, free tool like MailChimp, Aweber. There's Constant Contact. There's a lot of different tools. I use MailChimp because it's very, very intuitive. And even though I get into the technical nitty-gritty stuff, I don't want to have to. I get into technical nitty-gritty stuff where I have to. That's an area that I don't have to if I, use MailChimp. And then you guys, if you're doing it yourself, you don't want to have too many technical things going on. So go with MailChimp, and MailChimp has a list management database, which we'll talk about in another video. MailChimp also has autoresponders and all this good stuff with it that come along with it. But with MailChimp, when you create a campaign, you can create a lead capture form. You create a lead capture form and you just plug that on your website. Okay, you want to capture their information. That way you can continually market to them and follow up with them. If they have not given you permission to market to them, then you're not going to be able to grab their attention. You have to get their attention first. You have to have their permission to market to them, and then you have to continually, after then, build their trust. You can't go through any of the trust building activities if you haven't done the due diligence in getting their attention and getting their permission. So get a lead capture form. If you don't have one, get one. And by the way, I know I'm rambling, but you just have to deal with it. When I say lead capture form, I do not mean the contact form on your website. Okay, the contact form on your website is not a lead capture form. Your contact form is there because somebody wants to inquire about something. They really want you to contact them. A lot of times when people come to your website, they are not ready to be contacted, right? They don't want to initiate the sales process. And that's really what that sales form, that contact form represents. It means that you're going to call them and you're going to initiate the sales process. They see it that way, and as a result, they're less likely to put their information in there and give that to you. A contact form is just that. It's a contact form. A lead capture form is to capture their information and capture their permission. So that's something to keep in mind. Analytics deals with when I did this, it was very difficult really to see what analytics people had beyond like Google Analytics or something, a tool on their website. So I was kind of blind to this, but what I did was if they had an analytics tool, then they got a point and they were included in the people that had an analytics tool. And if they did not, then they were included in the people that did not. So a very, very large percentage, to me it was a surprising percentage of people did not have any analytics on their website, which means that they're not really doing any optimization. They've got it out there, but they're not optimizing it because they don't really know what to optimize without analytics. So my suggestion for you, my tip for you in this area is to pay attention to your bounce rates. Pay attention to your bounce rates. After you get your analytics tool, one of the things you want to look at is how people are behaving on your site. Which pages get the most traffic? Which pages are people staying on the longest? That gives you an indicator of what type of information is more interesting and what type of information you should continue to contribute, what type of information you should continue to publish. Pay attention to your bounce rate. So that's my tip in that area. So before I sign off, I want to leave you with one small piece of advice that I have learned throughout the ages. It hasn't been a lot of ages because, of course, I'm very, very young. But I want to give you one tip that I've learned about marketing that's hopefully going to help you become a better marketer and help you become a better business person. And that word of advice that I have for you is to put the media before the message. Okay, put the message before the media. I messed that up. Put the message before the media. A lot of people encounter the web in this way. Okay, they see this tool, this wonderful new tool that they can use to get their message across and reach a bunch of people, and they go out there and they just start using the tool. They don't know how to use it. They don't have anything valuable to say. They just start blasting off and they start using the tool. My contention is that if you do that, you're going to just say a whole lot of nothing, waste your time, waste your effort, annoy people, and irritate people, and then you never really get the value and the benefit of using these networks. So before you go and do that, go ahead and develop your message first. Okay, and we talk about branding and messaging a lot in the course, and then I'll talk about it with you as well on some of these future video posts. But go ahead and put the media behind the message. Create your message first and then develop and deliver your media. So that's my word of advice for you today. You've got 9 tips. You've got 1 word of advice. Hopefully you've got a little bit of inspiration to move forward with your marketing strategy online and help you become a marketing rock star. Hopefully you feel a little bit smarter after watching this video. If you need more help with marketing online, of course, I am here to help you. That's what I'm here for. That's exactly what I'm here for. My arms are wide open. Usually when people come to me for help with marketing, they're in one of 2 places. First of all, they are possibly, a do-it-yourself, or they're like the type of person that's do-it-yourself. Just give me the the instructions, and I'll take care of the rest type of person. And for that type of person, I have written a book and I've created a course. That book and that course is awesome. It is just for you if that is who you are. It takes you step by step through all of those different 9 areas that I talked about, and it gives you everything that you need. But if you are a person that needs a more customized, more individualized, more personalized approach, then come to us. Get yourself on over to www.edit-ability.com. I have a team of people, and then between myself and my team, we can become a part of your marketing team, and we can help you through those 9 different areas and help you navigate your marketing challenges. Together we can do that. So as always, thanks for watching. It is great to see you, and please subscribe, comment, and rate.